there friends, welcome back to the channel. Over the weekend of the World Championships, Pokemon gave us another gift deck on Pokemon TCG Live, this one centered around the new Jellicent EX card from White Flare. Jellicent EX is a great disruptor with its Oceanic Curse ability, which stops your opponent from being able to use any item or tool cards during their turn. Power Press is also a pretty great attack, doing 80 damage for base, but with 2 extra energy, it can do 160, which could two-shot any Pokemon really, right now at least. So this deck is built around Jellicent, and basically how it works is Jellicent is going to item block your opponent, and you're going to use Ignition Energy to get to that 2 extra energy requirement. So you're going to have 1 Psychic Energy attached to Jellicent, potentially 2 if you want to, and then whenever you need to do a little bit more damage, you can attach an Ignition Energy for 3 extra energy, making it do 160 damage. That's going to be your main form of attacking. The other way to get damage out and about to your opponent is through Munkidori. Using its Adrenaline Brain ability, you can move 3 damage counters from your Jellicent to your opponent. Now, this deck runs 3 Munkidoris, which is more than usual for most decks, but that's because you want to be able to move as much damage off Jellicent as possible to keep it alive during the game. This deck also runs lots of different switch cards, so Counter Catcher, Boss's Orders, Switch, all different cards that can help you keep your Jellicent alive by moving either your Jellicent out of the active spot or your opponent's Pokemon out of the active spot. And it also plays another great trick I like to use in this deck, Technical Machine Devolution. This card is going to allow you to take an evolution card off of your opponent's Pokemon, and so you can chip damage with either Jellicent's attack or Munkidori's ability, and then you can devolve your opponent's Pokemon, knocking them out. This deck is a ton of fun, and it works pretty well. So I hope you enjoy seeing it in action, and we'll be back later. Adios.